everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am extremely excited to be making this video where we are going to talk about some of my most worn pieces ever and then also in recent history. And I'm doing this in the spirit of the fact that my Hermès bag just hit 10 Swiss francs per wear for every time I have worn it, and that's because the bag was 3,250 and I have now worn it more than 325 times. And for those of you who've been here that long, like when I bought the bag back in 2020, I already knew this day would come, or I assumed so, but here it is, and obviously it's only going to continue. So we're going to talk about the bag. We're not as much going to talk about the condition. It's not going to be like a review of any of the items really. It's more just like an updated, or like an overview and a chat. And I'm having some lightning issues today, so I hope, please bear with me. This is what it's going to look like today. There are some of the things I want to chat about that are very recent but still has hit like a significant amount of wear already. Of course, some of the things I've bought while I've been here in London, which has only been a month, but some of these things are getting like a lot of wear very quickly because A, I don't have that much stuff here, and then B, probably more importantly, I have added some things that are just more appropriate for UK style. But we're going to get into all of it, and first and foremost, just the Hermès bag, because since I announced on my Instagram that I have worn it the exact amount of times, so that now again it is 10 francs every time I have worn it. I have worn it a little bit more, so actually now I have worn it 329 days anyway. What's really cool about that is the fact that, now I've had it for 3 years, and again I've worn it 329 days, so that means that I have worn this bag almost every third day, or like almost like a third of the time that I've had it, which is just so unbelievably wild. But was exactly like what I sort of knew and had hoped would happen. And I don't really have a lot of bags to exchange with, so usually when I wear a bag of that style, this is the bag that I wear. And because I wear that bag so much, it sort of becomes like a symbol of my personal style. I say this a lot, but like your personal style just are the things that you wear. So if you're always wearing something new, things don't really like manifest as part of your personal style. And I think it's safe to say that a lot of my wardrobe centers around this bag. And then I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the wear and tear of the bag. There is none. Just a few months into having the bag, I did get a scratch, unfortunately, but that's it. Like that's all. There's absolutely zero signs of wear on the bag in any other way. And I think about a year and a half ago, I did go into Hermès to ask if they could fix the scratch, and they told me that they could, but of course they have to send it to Paris to like their repair facility, blah blah blah. So once I do that, I won't have the bag for a couple of weeks, A, but also B, I don't have to do that right now. Honestly, the little scratch that it has, it doesn't really bother me that much. Something else that I think is really cool is that the canvas strap. I know for a fact if you buy like a strap on the side of this bag, they are like so expensive. Like I think the back strap on its own is like more than 1,000 francs or $1,000 if you just want to get it on its own. But at this point I'm starting to get why. Like it's a canvas strap and it has like zero frayed ends, and as you can tell, obviously I wear this bag all the time. So yeah, I am really excited about it, but again, this is not gonna be too much of like a review of each article. I mean, I'm trying not to make it so, but we'll see, because I would rather get into just like, the things I've worn and how much and how they're affecting my style. And so because of that, the next thing that's really important to get into is my Ansois tote bag. It's actually funny, I went out for coffee or drinks with a girlfriend who lives here in London, and she'd never seen this bag before, and she was like, oh my god, that is so nice, because it really is nice. It is just a tote bag, but it really is like an updated or like an elevated look. And that one I have worn 225 days, and it's just as old as the Hermès almost. So actually I've worn that like the other half of the time, so that's really funny because that means there's only like 1 day or 1/3 of the days left where I don't know what bag I have worn, which to be honest, like then I've worn one of my handbags, usually the Pauline one. So these bags definitely have their wear in them. Something that's really nice is that, with this one, the tote bag, because for a tote bag it is really expensive, the Ansois bags, like it was 130 francs, so yeah, $130. So now the cost per wear is at 0.57 francs, so like way less than 1 franc per wear. But that's not really necessarily the point. I think the point is that the fact that I have like one tote bag to wear that much, it also makes room for like the cost per wear of the more expensive bag, you know, because I don't really buy bags to such a big extent. I mean, now I did buy the YSL hobo bag, but just as a general rule of thumb, I really do not add any bags. So the fact that I have another bag that I also like to wear as much as the Hermès, even if it makes up for like a different part of my style, like it's more summery, for example. Like every day you wear something you already have, regardless of whether the thing you are wearing is the one that's way less expensive or the one that is way more expensive. Every day you wear something that you already have is a day that you don't have to add a new item to be wearing that day, basically. So you can just continue to get your cost per wears down. Anyway, that's how I've always sort of like been thinking about these things. So I think it's really interesting, and I am definitely ready to add some more bags with time. I definitely feel like for me, now it's been 3 years, and the Hermès bag has now gotten to a point where like, of course 10 francs per wear is still pretty high, but it is also an Hermès bag, and slowly I'm definitely ready to add another bag of its style. Like I would probably like to get something in the same size to a certain extent, like something that can hold like my laptop and just is more appropriate for a work bag, and then getting something in camel, because up until this point, you know, I've been doing only with black, which is totally fine. Like most of my footwear is also black, so everything goes really well and beautifully together. But I'm definitely ready to add another item to sort of like that category, and then, you know, get the cost per wear further down for like the entire category together, rather than just focusing on like one item at a time. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. I wanted to get into that a little bit, and then I think I'm just gonna scoot all over it. Like this is probably not gonna be the most structured video, but I am just gonna talk about like what I want to talk about really quickly as well, by the way, just to like get into the bags, because, you know, I have almost no bags, so I don't want to like, you know, spend that much time on it. But the Polyest bag, the first handbag that I bought, which was like pretty, you know, nice, that one I have worn 113 days, which is also really good. It is significantly pricier now, I believe, on the website than when I bought it, because when I got it, it was 270 Swiss francs. Yeah, I'll probably look that up. Anyway, I'll be linking to it in the description below, so you can still have a look. And then aside from that, I have the YSL hobo bag, which I've only worn 20 days. I just had a look before starting the video, and I'm pretty surprised. Like I definitely thought I would have worn that a significantly higher amount of time, but it really just comes down to the fact that like most days I won't be wearing a handbag. Most days I will be wearing something that I can like have my computer in. So it is what it is. And again, not gonna go too much into that in this video, but it did receive. I made a scratch in the bag. I'm not really sure how it happened, and the reason I'm not sure how it happened is because I'm not the bestest at taking care of this bag. You know, for me, this bag is not like an artifact. It is something that I really wear when I'm out and about. I found a really nice cobbler here, so I might take the bag to him and just ask if like there's anything he can do to like polish the scratch. But the scratch is there, and it's right where the hardware is, so it's definitely something that's been made, or I'm almost certain of the fact that the scratch has gotten there from the hardware. But for me, it's really not an issue. I bought this bag to wear it, and usually I wear it when I'm out like dancing and out and about. I'm feeling really cute, and it's dark when I wear it for the majority of the time, so you can't really tell anyway. It's fine. Then there are some items that I'm probably not gonna really get into that much, like for example the curated coats, because I want to do like a dedicated video for that once winter really approaches, and there's just really no point to getting into it right now. But instead I actually wanted to get into like some of my newer pieces, because some of my older pieces, like for example the curated coat, the first one I got, the charcoal one, that one is also 3 years old now, and I wear that so much. It also has like almost 300 times of wear, and I'm so happy with it. It shows no signs of wear. I'm gonna continue to wear it, but it's almost like old news. It's already settled in my style, so there may not be that much to like talk about when it comes to it, where some of these newer items I think are extremely interesting to talk about. For my UK style, I have bought a couple of things already, and I am a jacket girl. Like that is my ultimate weakness, and I have bought 2 jackets since I got here. So something I brought with me is the new dark denim jacket from H&M, and I am also extremely happy with it. So I bought it only just like a couple of weeks before leaving for London, so it's probably like 2 months old in my wardrobe now. I actually think it's even less. So I've worn it 11 days, which, considering the fact that it's been so warm that, you know, I haven't needed a jacket for so many of those weeks, that is pretty impressive. And yeah, I'm just really happy with it. Not much else to say about it, but of course it does like affect my style now that it's getting that much wear out of like that little amount of time. And I'll usually wear it with skirts, and then I just bought a new skirt. I'm also going to talk about the wear of that a little bit, but it basically, it looks like they were bought together, and it looks adorable. It is like one of my favorite outfits since I got here, but I'm also gonna make an outfit formula video for the UK. And then after that, or when I first got here, I bought this jacket. I've already talked about it in the other video, so I won't get much into why I bought and all of that, but that one I wore 9 days, which is a little bit unhinged. Like, I bought it like 3 weeks ago, and it's the black one, and that one is made of polyester, so it's not the most comfortable piece that I have, but oh my god, is it stylish. And so far, I've worn it 9 times, but you know, sometimes with Zara and H&M, because it is a Zara jacket, things will like fall apart immediately, and this jacket still looks extremely clean and sleek and good. And then I added another jacket also from Zara. This is one, like, I saw it in store, I was immediately blown away. I checked the label, and it's 50% wool, 50% polyester, which I also don't like, but I already knew prior to like touching it or trying it on or checking it that it would have a pretty significant amount of wool in it, because you can always, wool just has this more like felt-like type of look to it. It's a little bit more clean, the hairs go a little bit more one direction, where faux wool made from like acrylic or polyester, even though it's sort of like imitates real wool, you can see that the fibers are just a little bit more messy, they're a little bit more all over the place, and in my opinion, I can see it right away, and I don't think it looks good, where with this jacket it just looks like 100% wool, which is a little bit annoying, because, you know, I'd rather than it was just 100% wool, because, you know, I have worn it 4 days now, which is not that much, but I also bought it a week ago, so I've worn it 4 days now, and like, I have also, of course, it is a wool jacket, and I have worn it even though it's a little bit too warm for it, because I really want to be wearing it. But like, now I have different things cut with polyester, and I remember having like a talk with a store manager in a store. This was almost 2 years ago, but we had to talk about polyester, and I told her that I was looking for something without any polyester, and she was the one to sort of like explain to me that there is like a significant amount of difference in the level of quality of polyester as well, which I guess makes sense, but once you've like demonized something like polyester, you just don't want anything to do with it. But my point is, having this jacket really makes it extremely clear for me how right she is, because I have some things now with, you know, which also has like a polyester cut or like a polyester lining, like for example the pink blazer that I have from another stories, but I am still perfectly able to, it's very breathable, like I'm very comfortable in it, where with this with this jacket from Zara, even though it feels extremely soft to the touch, like it feels like wool, I can tell once I get a little bit too warm, it does trap my heat. Like, it's not as bad as something that's 100% polyester, which would also be like felted like this, but this thing, like, the best I can explain it is that once you start getting a little bit warm, you also start getting a little bit cold, because you can't really regulate your body temperature. But anyway, it's just like so annoying. Why cut it with polyester? And I know, yeah, some of you are then like, but it's because of the cost. I know that, but it still just like really bothers me. But yeah, this is definitely a very luxurious looking jacket. I've only worn it 4 times. Wow, I really went sideways there. I always do that. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm very happy with it, and depending on like how it goes with this jacket, I am going to continue to wear it and then maybe buy something that is very similar, because it is the exact design and the color, which is this, of course, cool tone brown that I love so much, that drew me to it. But I know that the Curated makes some, I think now they are starting to make some cropped Hermes-ish wool jackets as well. I'm actually not sure. If they do, I'm definitely gonna pop up some pictures so you can have a look, because obviously there the quality is going to be much, much higher. But I wanted what I wanted when I wanted it, and I bought the jacket. Then I also want to talk a little bit about skirts, because outside of jackets, skirts are probably my next thing. I do wear jeans as well. I also bought a pair of jeans here, but I think there's no point in really getting into the wear of those at all. But I want to get into the wear of skirts, because my favorite and most worn skirt of all time is the one from part 2. I bought that a couple of years ago. It's one of those things that I hope will be like permanent and forever in my wardrobe. Actually, I worn it a little bit less than I thought I would. I've worn it 69 times, but because it is a skirt, I have also washed it kind of a lot. And my whole point is that this skirt has absolutely zero sign of wear. Like, the fabric, even though that is polyester, it is so comfortable. It's completely breathable to the extent that, you know, bottoms have to be anyway, and it is just impeccable. Like, the fabric, there's absolutely no snatches in it, there is no pilling of any kind. It is just so unbelievably well made. Actually, it was also kind of expensive considering it's just a skirt. It was 169 francs. You know, once you have something that is like a staple within your wardrobe and that is really in that impeccable quality, then the price is a little bit less important because you can continue to wear it. So that is exactly what I do, and of course the cost per wear will continue to fall. And then I bought a black skirt which is very similar to it. Sorry, the first one is a little bit more of like a skater skirt style, just a little bit, and the other one is more like A-line, and then it has a slit in the front. That is my skirt from Another Stories that I bought this year. I have already worn it so much. I've literally worn it 36 days, which is like more than half of what I've worn the other skirt that I've had for like a couple of years. So this one was only 50 francs. So of course the cost per wear is already like really low. It's actually already lower than, you know, on the other one. But the thing is, I have worn this 36 times and it's definitely not falling apart. It has lasted pretty well, and I think it will continue to last at least double the wear, probably even more. But the thing is, like, the fabric does not look as good anymore. It has like a little bit of pilling to it, and I don't have like a fabric comb with me, so I haven't fixed it. But I definitely could, and then the skirt would look really good again. But my point is just now that I have the other skirt, which is also made from polyester from part 2, I know what really high quality stuff that's like made to last can look like, and then it is just disappointing once you find a piece that you truly love and enjoy and just like want to wear all the time for the next 10 years. Okay, who knows what I'll be wearing in 10 years, but you know what I mean, you catch my drift. And then like feeling like you start getting to a point where you have to be careful with how much you wear it. I mean, I'll never be like that, I will just wear things, but it's still really frustrating. And I feel like the best you can really do to combat that is, of course, trying to add as many things as possible that are the things that you can wear forever, so that again you have more days or less days where you need to fill the days out with something else. Like, whenever you can get a piece that is like permanent to a high extent, like with the Hermès bag, like with the curated coat, again, it's like one less day where you have to buy something new for. And that's exactly what it is like with this skirt. It's like, because it's not like an impeccable quality, at some point it just will no longer look good, and I will need something else that looks that good to look as stylish, unless I want to, of course, continue only wearing my part 2 skirt and nothing else, and I'm not interested in that. And what my wardrobe, I feel like, is really about for me is finding as many pieces as possible that are evergreen and permanent and like cornerstones of my style, so that I have less days to fill out with less good pieces. It's this balance, you know, because I am also buying things that's just not an option with, and that's totally okay, because you can take more time and consideration when you do buy things that probably aren't permanent, or when you know that at least you have something permanent. So, you know, you will have the ability to be stylish always with something in your wardrobe. Anyway, then I bought another new skirt, and yeah, the reason I'm talking about it is just because I have had primarily that skirt, the part 2 one, for the longest time as the only one I really want to wear. Again, I do have a couple of other ones like the oat one, the oat silk one, but it's not really the same category, even though skirt is one big category. But yeah, with the new denim skirt, I'm also wearing it right now. Of course, I'll pop it on the screen. I've worn that 6 days, and I think I bought it like 7 or 8 days ago. I am obsessed with it. The only thing that I wish was a little bit different is that it is sort of like made to be like low waist, so I do have to pull it down like a significant amount, but it also does stay there. It looks really good. It's not too short when it sits like that, and we've been talking about me wearing something a little bit more mid-waisted anyway, and it is just so beautiful. Because I also bought another denim skirt while I was here. It's more like just the classic shape. I don't even want to get into it. It's a completely different look, even though they're both denim, and I am just like obsessed with it. My skirt collection is slowly growing, and whenever I find something that I just love, and it's a skirt, it goes straight to the wardrobe, because yeah, like half of my outfit, probably even more, like 2/3 of my, probably even more. The vast majority of my outfits are made up of skirts, and when you only have 2 skirts you want to wear and they're both black, it sort of like limits you a little bit in very variety of outfits. But yeah, now I have this like beautiful, gorgeous denim skirt to help out with. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about boots, because I've been talking about a lot lately that I want to add another pair of boots from Vagabond, or not from Vagabond, but like the ones that I have from Vagabond. So I have 2 pairs from Vagabond that I like to wear a lot. Of course, one is the pointy-toed ones, and actually they are now making them again the same style, except it's not as tall in the angle. I am gonna show a picture. I'm also gonna link to it down below, just so you can go and buy them if you want to. But again, they are the exact same pair. I actually reached out to customer service. The only thing is just that, again, the angle is not as tall, which I love the tall angle, but you can have a look and see what you think. And then I have the flatter pair, which I just had them I just have taken them to a cobbler here in the UK. He did an amazing job. I already shared it on my Instagram. Like, they look completely as new. He glued the sole back on because it is a glued sole, and like when I had tried to like taking the boots with a glued sole to the cobbler here or in Zurich, he had been like, oh, that's really hard to fix, blah blah blah, which is so typical of like Swiss service. But I feel like I often ran into these issues where Swiss services will tell me something can't be done when it in fact can be done. Because when I went to take the same pair of boots to the cobbler here in London, I was like, oh, like, I don't know if you can fix it. And he was just like, well, of course I can fix it. Like, that's, you know, no problem at all. So he did that, and they just like look as new. They are so beautiful. And he charged me 10 francs for it, like literally 10 British pounds. And I was just like in shock. I tipped him because I was just that, yeah. Anyway, that could be a whole different video, just talking about like the price differences and how pricey things are in Switzerland. So I picked up the flat boots, and they are so comfortable to walk further in as well. I just personally think they're a little bit less stylish than the pointy-toed ones that has a bit of a heel, but you know, what I pay for in stylishness, they make up for in how comfortable they are to wear, and I can walk just like so far and forever in these. But I picked them up, and then I left the pointy-toed ones at the cobbler, and they really needed it. So I'll be picking those up, actually I think tomorrow, and I am just like so excited. But I went into that whole thing to tell you that the flat pair of Vagabonds I have now worn 100 days exactly, in fact. And I think before, like, I had paid 150 francs for them, and now they were 17 francs more expensive because, you know, I had to pay a cobbler to repair them. So of course that ups the price in total of the boot. So that also ups the cost per wear a little bit, but it's totally worth it. So of course they're down to 1 francs and 67 per wear, and they will continue now to get so much more wear, especially now seeing like the fact that he could completely repair them, considering how worn out they were in the end, because I really didn't wear them that much in the end because of that, because I was really like, you know, these guys have almost like no wear or no life back in them, and it felt like such a shame because I love wearing boots so much, and yeah, I hadn't found another new pair that I enjoyed as much. But knowing now that that is completely resolved, and the next time I start having any type of like repair issue with them, I'll hopefully take them much sooner. Maybe if I go back to London, I'll do the same thing again. So yeah, the other pair of Vagabonds, they actually haven't worn them as much. So they say they have 59 times of wear, but I know that they have a significant amount more. It's because these are dupes or duplicates. I had another pair before this, but they were completely worn out. I actually still have them at home. But they're just, you know, they're packed away. They're completely, worn out. So one day I'll take them to a cobbler, and then that was the pair that he had told me like, oh, you can't repair that wear. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I did accidentally count a lot more wear towards the old pair. I hadn't realized that I wasn't choosing the new pair, but so yeah, these probably have maybe closer to like 100 times of wear. My whole point is mentioning that is that now I feel like having this new experience at this cobbler, it's gonna be way more interesting to see if I really need new boots. Like, of course, if I run into like a pair that I really like, I will add them to the collection because I wear them so much. It's such a proof of concept. It's tried and tested, but it doesn't feel as urgent anymore, which is such a relief because yeah, when you have something you feel like you look really stylish in, but then like, yeah, I feel like I already went into that, but you can't wear it because it's slowly like deteriorating or falling apart, then like, what are you gonna do with those days? How are you gonna feel stylish these days if you don't have something to like make up for it? But it seems like that won't be much of an issue anymore. So at least there is that. So this video is already very long because I cannot stop talking once I get started. So I will keep it to here. So maybe if you have any wishes, any items you remember that you would like me to talk about, or if I think of anything else, then I'll make another video similar to this one. But for now, I feel like we're probably best served if we just stop here. Anyway, as always, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like so that I know, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.